Hi, this is the introduction for week 11. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get a little confused as to where we are with the various weeks. But anyway, this is the second last week, and there's a lot of information in this week's content. Before I go on to that, you will have received, I think, an invitation to complete a student satisfaction survey. I hope you will do that. We do use the information to improve the subject as much as we can. But if we only hear from people who want to tell us about things they don't like, then we might make changes to things that are working well, and I'd really hate for that to happen. So please tell me what you think is working well and where you think we could improve. Okay, so let's talk about striving for equality in healthcare access. In this in this week, you'll learn about the health issues that people with developmental disabilities may face. Now, in considering health issues, what you don't want to do is get too focused on the notion of people with disability being sick. We've worked really hard in this subject to really make it clear that having a disability doesn't mean having an illness. However, some types of disabilities, and because of discrimination and problems accessing healthcare, mean that people with particular types of disabilities may be at higher risk of particular health conditions. That's very different to being sick because or equating illness with having a disability. So it's really important that you keep those two concepts separate. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, then please ask questions on the forum. The forum is the only way I know the areas that you're confused about until an assessment. And by then it's a little bit too late. So you don't want to lose marks for things that we could have cleared up for you just through some conversation on the forum. Okay, so the intended learning outcomes are again to compare the roles of various professionals and demonstrate sound writing skills. In this time, you're going to have to write again in terms of academic standards. We'll talk about that more under the assessment. People with developmental disabilities often experience poor health and mental health, poorer health and mental health in the general population. Now, there is an introduction video that expands on this in more detail. So to try and keep this video short so you don't have to listen to my voice too long, I won't go through all the details of that. So have a look at that video and hopefully you'll get an understanding of what we mean by higher risk and poor healthcare access. This week you're going to watch that lecture and some video clips which demonstrate healthcare interactions. Now, a word about language. When someone sees a doctor, then you can talk to them about them as being a patient in that situation. Doesn't mean they're a patient in all situations. Once they walk out of that door, or you're not talking about that relationship, they're just people. So just be careful of your use of the word patient. I did comment on that in some people's assignments. The other thing to take care of is that a doctor is relevant in a very specific healthcare consultation, but they may not be relevant in terms of supporting a person with disability in other situations. And so in the social model of disability, remember it's a model of disability, it is not a model of health. We think about how various people, including just ordinary citizens, can support social inclusion. So just keep in mind the very specific roles that people have in healthcare. You'll read about health inequalities, including a chapter that I co-wrote with Professor Chris Bigby, and you'll begin your next written assignment. Now, some of you may feel, in fact, you probably all will feel that it might be a bit soon given that you've only just received the results of the last assessment. I think I explained before that the reason for the timing is so that you won't have to be completing an assignment, a written assignment, in your exam week. You can just focus on a brief multiple choice quiz. That was a request that came through a previous year's student feedback survey. So let us know how you think that works for you. We have to include the number of assignments and assessments that we have to meet the requirements for a 15 credit point subject. So if you're feeling like it's a bit full on, that's because it's a university level subject. So I'm sorry about that. It's just unfortunately the way it is. Please review the feedback video that I did from the last assignment. It will help you with this one. And as always, we've got the Go Further section to help you with your deeper understanding. It will provide references that you might be able to use for your assignment, but for that assignment, I encourage you to look throughout the subject at the Go Further sections to help you get the number of references that you need. And you can also do your own research. You don't have to stay with the references we provide in this subject. And some of you have done that, and that's excellent. We encourage more of you to do it. All right, I hope you really enjoy this week. As always, please, please, please post on the forum if you've got questions. Thanks.